What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else, and I am on the PTS. As you can see, I have a super sexy character in Breton armor. Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the Necromancer changes and what is coming in the Ascending Tide DLC for specifically Stamina Necromancer. As you guys know, I like to play quite a bit of Stamina Necromancer. I'm not as adept at Magicka Necromancer. I don't feel like their changes are nearly as interesting, but yeah, let's dive into it and let's kind of talk about it. Necromancer has always been a good class, Stamina Necromancer. They've never seen a bad patch. They have a lot of good skills. It allows them to adapt really well. They're very tanky, some would argue too tanky. Their combination of mitigation plus healing really puts them over the top. This last patch, they've actually dropped, in my opinion, from S tier to A tier. And it's to no fault of their own. Like, it's still a very good class. It's just Magicka Necromancer, magplar, and magdk, in my opinion, are better. Magplar has access to bubble, which basically makes them immortal if they so choose to. Magdk, obviously, their spec is fantastic right now. It's good that they got buffs, but they're a buzzsaw. They're a buzzsaw. And Magicka Necromancer I put above just because of not really so much their spec, but just how ridiculous their spec is with Dark Convergence. And honestly, the class would be fine and it's still good without Dark Convergence, but with Dark Convergence, they're the class that can really abuse it the most. So I think those classes are better. Stamina Necromancer did not drop, but it didn't improve the way those classes have and will in the next patch. But we got some changes coming this next patch that I think very well could put Stamina Necromancer in line with them. And let's talk about the first one. The first one is we now have potential access to a burst heal. And so we can now use Resistant Flesh as an example. This is a very good skill. Everybody knows this. Grants resistance to the target equal to half the amount healed. Now, I am running, before we dive into this, I should show you what I'm running. This is the build that I'm currently running live. I have Titanborn on the front bar, Data Trickery on the back bar, 2-piece Ballord, one-piece Trainee, and Death Dealer's Feet, all infused weapon damage. This is exactly what I'm running on live. So I wanted to get this comparison and kind of show you guys what I'm looking at here. And so these are unbuffed stats on the back bar: Serpent Muntus, Stage 3 Vampire, yada yada yada. Now, due to some of these changes and due to some testing, we might be able to make some adjustments. Resistant Flesh, for those of you guys that don't know what it is, sacrifice your own power to repair damaged flesh, healing you or an ally in front of you for 13,000. That is a lot. That is a very big heal. But applying Minor Defile to yourself for 4 seconds, reducing your healing received and health recovery by 8%. That's not a big deal for Necromancers because when you have a negative effect on you, your healing done is increased by 8%. So this doesn't matter. This just counteracts it. And so, but the interesting thing about this is you grant the target spell and physical resistance equal to half the amount healed for 3 seconds. So when you use this skill, part of the reason why Necromancers get so tanky is if they have a very high burst heal and they heal themselves for like 10, 15k, they're going to have resistances for 3 seconds of 5 to 7,500. And so they become very, very thick boys with this specific skill. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be OP or anything like that because honestly, it's expensive. 4665 Magicka Recovery is an expensive burst heal for a stamina class, and so I'm not saying it's going to be easy to do. What I will say is due to the intensive Mender passives, we can have our Magicka Recovery up to 800. With a Tripod, we have 1,000. We're already working with a decent amount of Magicka Recovery on a Stamina Necromancer, and they don't really have many Magicka dumps to begin with. So getting to like 1,500 Magicka Recovery wouldn't be hard to sustain if you needed to. There could be some very interesting builds with Resistant Flesh doing full send damage and using Resistant Flesh as your form of mitigation. Because if you can get this tooltip up to 15, 16k and you're hitting 15k tooltips regularly, that's your defense. And so very, very interesting skill. We'll have to see how that plays out and how that works live. Obviously, this is something that I'll be testing. This is part of the hybridization. Necromancers now have access to this. Like I said, I don't know how this specific skill is going to work out because 4665 is a lot of Magicka Recovery. But what I do know is Intensive Mender just got a massive buff for Stamina Necromancer. Now before, this used to scale off your max magicka and spell damage, I think, or maybe it was just max magicka. Regardless, Spirit Guardian's the one that most Necromancers take because it's 10% mitigation, a little bit of healing. I think normally it's like 2 or 3k heal, but now it scales off of either stat, so this heal's a little bit juicier. But if you look at Intensive Mender now, and we equip it, you see we have 9153 heal, and that's before Rally. And so if we look at it again with Rally up, we have a 10k heal every 2 seconds. If we go take a resource and we get continuous, this is going to be an 11 or 12k heal. I have run Intensive Mender in the past. I have build videos where I have ran Intensive Mender because this heal has been very nice on high dot patches. But what I thought was nice was like half of this tooltip nice. This is ridiculous. Like, this is insanely powerful. It lasts for 8 seconds. It goes to anybody, and it is almost render flesh level healing every 2 seconds. Now, this is the problem that I've had with this specific skill. And guys, if you go back and you look at my channel, I play a lot of Stamina Necromancer. I do. I try to play every class. I haven't played as much lately because I moved into a house and like there's a few classes I fall back on. Necromancer is one of the ones I fall back on. Feel free to check the receipts, I guess. But I am not trying to get Necromancer nerfed. I do not hate Stamina Necromancer. I will say this. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And it is not needed. Like, this is not needed at all. And it will be used. I'm not saying that I won't use it because obviously, like, why wouldn't you? Like, Render Flesh for 13k. Intensive Mender ticks 4 times over an 8-second period for 10k. So it's almost the same amount, and it just randomly goes off. And so these are the types of skills that I think really need to be overhauled. I think Intensive Mender is one of them. Templar Bubble is the other one. We'll save that for another video, but this skill is insane. This is so much healing. And guys, Necromancer's already hard to kill. Like, when you're running Mortal Coil and you have Rally and you have Vigor and you have all these going, and if you're a stage 3 vampire, like you probably should be in PvP right now because that's also very strong, and you're me and you're running a set like Daedra Trickery, which honestly, like, you don't have to run Daedra Trickery next patch if you can find a way to fit Render Flesh. You honestly don't even have to run Daedra Trickery now. I just like the ulti-gen. I really do. And I like doing outnumbered, like, ridiculous things, and so Trickery is very, very nice. This skill can get so much higher. If I switch this to like Clever Alchemist, which I could easily run next patch, yeah, we have an 11,000 heal when we have a negative effect on us every 2 seconds. Like, you remember earlier on in the video when I said that Stamina Necromancer, in my opinion, has been A tier? Intensive Mender puts it back up to S tier, in my opinion. Just Intensive Mender on its own puts it back to S tier. Now keep in mind, guys, like, I am also running Death Dealer's Feet, and so this heal will actually get higher. So we are going to get the full stacks of Death Dealers while we wait, and we will see exactly what this tooltip is. But yeah, it's not needed. Like, this much healing is not needed. Mortal Coil is already insanely powerful. The 10% mitigation was already strong with the small heal. You stack even the 10% mitigation with the heal that it's giving. Like, that's going to be really good. But then you give the chance for Intensive Mender, and it's just like, man, like, Stamcrow can now go full send damage the way Magplar can. But I would argue that Stamcrow has better damage. Well, maybe not next patch. Maybe not next patch with Javelin, but I would argue that Stamcrow is right up there with just about any class in the game for damage. And so if you can fit full send damage with this kind of healing, good luck. Like, good luck trying to stop this. So, yeah, obviously this is just me looking at it from playing the class a lot, but even if I change nothing else, like even if hybridization has me feeling weird and I don't know what other classes I'm going to be running and all this, we'll buff our Rally real quick. We'll make sure we get this. Hit our Mender, 12k. Got a 12k heal. Let's have a debuff on us too. 13. I have a 13k intensive mender heal every 2 seconds. And this can 100% be sustained on a stam crow. Like I said, I've ran it before. And so yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Like I said, I don't think it's healthy for the game for classes to have this much healing. Like I said, Mortal Coil, look at that, 22k. I don't even have Dawnbreaker on the front bar, which adds more damage. Guys, look how bad I am. I'm not even fitting ults on my bar, and I'm looking at tooltips. But yeah, like 20k tooltip over 12 seconds. Switch to the back bar, and yeah, this is a 12 or 13k tooltip with a negative debuff on you, which you'll have in PvP, and with Death Dealer fully up. Like this is really, really good. Plus Death Dealer gives you all that magicka. I mean, if you look, I have 17k magicka right now. With all tri-stat, I have 18k magicka. I lied. So yeah, so if I can get to like 1300 magicka recovery, I could maybe fit this. And yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting things coming towards Necromancer. I mean, like I said, this is one of those things that I hope gets adjusted, because it's already annoying fighting some classes that have this kind of stuff on it. But if it doesn't, there you guys go. You guys know what's coming. I have almost 19k magicka. I'm sorry. Sorry. You guys know what's coming. Stamina Necromancer is getting a huge buff. Like this is a huge buff. I would contend that Intensive Mender, and I'll have to take some testing. I would contend that Intensive Mender's 10k, 13k heal every 2 seconds is better than Spirit Guardian's 10% mitigation and half the heal. I think that's better. So yeah, those are my thoughts. That's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Tell me how much I hate Stamina Necromancer, because I love to hear it. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.